Hello. So as I said last week, then we're looking at creating a new initiative that collects all of Decred content from a whole bunch of Decred content creators in the space on a project called decredmagazine.com. So what I want to talk to you guys this week about is if you are a content creator and you're interested in putting your content onto Decred Magazine, and how do you go about it? Now, this is all a bit of a testing ground at the moment, but at the moment how it works is you'd have to direct message me on Twitter at Decred Society. And then I would get back to you with an invite code. And then you could enter your email and you could enter your password and you could actually start writing. It's pretty much straightforward. Unfortunately, there is no way around having to do the invite thing where you have to kind of enter your email address and then enter a password. If you are worried about that and you want to kind of set up a cloned or a cloaked email, there's no problem with that, really. There is zero problem with that, and a lot of people have kind of said that that's the way that they're going to do it, because obviously privacy is quite an important thing to most people in this space, and I completely understand it. It's just the way that the Ghost platform works. So once you've got your invite and once you've set up your account, the next step then, it can be quite confusing. So we're going to the Decred magazine. So we're on the homepage, and a lot of people think, oh, I click on the subscribe button, but you actually can't do that. The subscribe button is purely for the email subscription. So you sign up to the email subscription, and then you kind of get the weekly or daily emails. What you have to do instead, in order to get onto to be a contributor, really easily, is after you get to the decredmagazine.com, you just say /ghost, and then when you press enter, this will take you into the back end site, and all you do here is you just enter your email, enter your password, and press go. So once you press go, you will come over to this main page. Now initially this will be blank, and you'll just hit a button in the middle to create your first post. Down the bottom hand corner here, you can set up your profile, and if you want different bits like a background image or a profile image, you can do that in there. And if you want to set up your Twitter handles and all those kind of things, and if you want to create a new post, you can do it here. So let me just show you what the actual account looks like. So once you've created it, so if we come back to the front end and I scroll down to the bottom of this page here, so we've just added Permable Nino, and he's obviously allowed us to add his content, which is absolutely great. But you can see what it kind of looks like at the moment. I've still got to do some work on this, but it's probably going to take a little bit of time. I'm hoping to release this proposal probably in the next couple of weeks, but there's still a couple of teething issues that I want to get over first. I want this author page to look so much more better. I want it to be a presentation of the author, so that they have all of their credentials here, so that people that are interested in hiring them or getting them to contribute, or kind of, as a bit of a badge of honor, really, that you can create this work. I want this to look really cool. So that's going to take a little bit of time. There's a few things I need to kind of work out. The scripting language used in Ghost is called Handlebars. Now I've used PHP before, but Handlebars is ever so slightly different. But if anyone's a Handlebars developer and wants to get in touch, that'd be amazing, actually. So the other front is if you have a product. So that's the author page, and obviously from the author page you have all of your posts here, which is absolutely great. The other one is the product page. Now the product page is slightly interesting. So for instance, my Decred Society product page actually has a banner as if it's your homepage. So eventually my Twitter account will go straight to this one, and it'll be decredsociety.com, but it will be from this page here. So it's all kind of linked in. And this is kind of what I want for the author page. So I get these nice headers, get these nice logos and descriptive stuff. So that's how it looks. Now let's have a look at, let's just go over that again. So you get an invite first. So just DM me at Twitter, and it's at Decred Society. And then I'll send you through. And I'm hoping at a later stage, I'll put some contact information so we can streamline that even further. Once you've got your invite, you set up your email, set up your password, and then to get into the back end, it's just literally decredmagazine.com /ghost, and that takes you to the back end. And then from here, you just press the new post and you can add it. Now, what I would say to any creators that are writing, don't write directly onto this. What I would do instead is obviously use a word processor. Make sure your spelling's right. Make sure your grammar's correct. Two of the products that I really like. One is called Grammarly, which is absolutely fantastic. The other one that I use more than Grammarly is actually called Ulysses, which is an app for iOS and the Mac machines, which is absolutely great. It allows you to do all your grammar, it allows you to really clean up your writing. So that's how I would produce it first. I would do it in a document, make it right, because inside the browser, the spell checks and the grammar checks are very, very limited unless you've got the Grammarly plugin. They are very, very limited. So, do it in an app and then just drop it in here. In terms of images as well, you need to keep the image sizes down. If you want your pages to load really quickly, really well, you do need to optimize your images when you come into here. So we have a couple of areas. The first one is the featured image. Now, if you don't want to add your own image, there is a little button, or if you can't work out how to do a featured image, there's a little button here, Unsplash, which allows you to kind of insert anything you want. So you can, if you like this image, you could have that as your Unsplash. And Unsplash has got absolutely loads, and you can do a search here and all the rest of it. Now, the featured image has to be included because that's what we see here, okay? By default, it actually gets hidden. So when you click on this page, for instance, what you'll see is the video. You won't see the featured image, although it looks like the featured image. And the reason for that is because it kind of has a weird effect applied to it. So let me just show you a couple of examples. So the featured image, and if you come over to the sidebar button and you scroll down to the bottom, you can actually change the template. So the template that I just showed you was the default. So the default one is this one here, where if you had the image in the post as well as the featured image, it actually looks really weird. So by default, the featured image for the default is actually hidden. But if you come over and you change that to full feature, you get this really nice effect where, and this is the full feature here, where it goes over the whole page. And then when you scroll, you get, let me just load this again so you can see this. When you click it, it actually does this zooming in effect as well. And then when you scroll, you get this nice effect. It's a bit like the Bitcoin magazine one, to be fair. So there's a couple of ways of adding your featured image, depending on what the featured image is. Now, if it's just a plain one, that works really well. If it's got too much writing on, it can look a bit weird. The next thing then, so once you've got your featured image done, you might want to do your excerpt. This is what we call copy. So the actual copy or the promotional text goes in here, and this is what the SEOs or the search engine optimization use. So you can put in your really promotional text here, and then it kind of pings out to the search engine with whatever you want. Now, for instance, this one here, actually, let's do this latest one here. This text here is actually the copy. So Apple Source Sum always tells it like it is. This is the copy that the search engine gets. So when we're over here, that's what I put in there, and it also turns up as the very first bit of text there, which is quite useful. So you do need that copy. If you want to promote your work and you want it to kind of shine through onto Google, you do need the excerpt there for the copy. The title is done automatically. So whatever you post your title post is, will actually populate it here. So once again, you've got this title post here, and that's absolutely fine. Bear market blue, so because they type bear market blues here, it will also be the URL, and that makes sense because in terms of SEO, you do want the title and the URL to be very closely matched because it kind of pushes them up the ranks. The date you can set to whatever you want. If you want the publish date to be right now, that's absolutely fine. You can just leave it as it is. As you go down, you don't really need to do anything with these. They actually generate from all of this information. But if you want to add something a little bit special, like inject some code for the header or whatever, you actually can do that. And then in this bottom box, you've got the text itself. And by pressing this plus button, you have all these extra things that you can do. And you can have a little play. So if you wanted to add a little bit of HTML or CSS to make something look pretty, if you want to do some markdown. So if you're coming straight from Ulysses, you don't actually need the markdown because just by pasting it in this box, it kind of corrects the markdown anyway, it's pretty great. You can add an image and you can customize it. Email content, you can have some call outs. You can even have toggled. So if you wanted to create like a little quiz, you could even have a toggle there or whatever. By default, video and audio, you can just paste it in the URL. So if you've got a video over on Twitter, you can just come up to the top and paste in the URL, and it'll actually grab the embed and it looks absolutely perfect. So that's pretty much it. Like I said, there's absolutely loads there that you can play around with, and there's loads of ways that you can kind of create really great content that looks really good. Now, what happens now is every contributor to the magazine, they don't actually have publishing rights. They have contribution rights. When you press save, it then populates over to me, and I get to proofread it, or one of the editors gets to proofread it, and then we press publish. And that's just to make sure the content is semi-professional. As the time goes by, I would like to add lots more editors so we can kind of speed up this process so that we get these regular content posted when we need them. But it should work quite well. I know that can be quite frustrating for contributors, and they want to publish it there and then, but it does make sense to go through that process so it kind of gets error checked first and then it gets published. The other thing I would probably say to you guys, as well as publishing on Decred magazine, you should probably also start up like a Medium, just so you've got your own backups of your work as well. So you can actually have it published in 2 places. You can also provide the links to the original article here. So if you add the link to Medium, it will actually populate your Medium even higher as well in the SEO engine, which is absolutely great. So it's kind of a win-win. So I hope that was okay. If there's anything there that you didn't understand, if you want to be a Decred magazine contributor, obviously get in touch with me. It'd be great to hear from you. If there's stuff there you think, oh, that didn't sound quite right, and you want to know more, obviously let me know. I can either text you back, or I can create another video to kind of explain that. But I just wanted to go through, for the people that are interested but kind of a bit daunted by the whole process, I just wanted to kind of clarify what the process would be. So final note from me, if you are not a contributor but you want to be, obviously give us a text, but if you want to subscribe, this week we are testing a whole bunch of features to see if they work, including the email, the mailing list and the emails that go out, to see how they work. We're also testing the social media, and I'll probably do a rundown on how the social media stuff works as well, just to make sure you're kind of clear how that happens. It would be great to get your feedback. If you have any feedback, if you like this idea, if you think the proposal is a good idea, obviously give me some feedback. If you think it's a terrible idea, obviously I'd like to hear your feedback as well, and I'd like to hear why you think that maybe it's not such a good idea. Kind of both sides of the pie, if you like. So thanks for watching. Hope that was useful. Obviously give us a text, give us a like, give us a subscribe, and all the rest of it. And I'll see you guys later. Cheers.